women sometimes overlook the men that have it going on but are very quiet about it. Like most women that are in my space will look at the more flashier person on the internet, and that was me at one point in time. In 2020, my marketing agency did $16 million. I opened a co-working space in the middle of the pandemic.
Whoa. Slow down.
There's plenty of things that you've bought from a beautiful website and had no followers. Yeah. Right?
Yes, for sure.
And there's plenty of things that were highly marketed, and when you got to the website, you were like, something is off.
Yeah.
Even people's ads around their courses. You see all the ads, and when you get to the landing page, you're like, A lot of times we need someone that is shining a light on us when we don't feel like we have that light, right? A lot of times we are walking around with the light inside of us, but we're scared. Like, we're like, oh, I don't want to be too boastful. You need someone to call somebody and say, hey, why he not on this stage? Why he not doing this? You don't want to call them and do that. The results that we're trying to get is a #1 podcast. So in order for us to be a #1 podcast, we want to look at your competitors and see what they're doing, and then make a framework or a body of work that can exist on the levels in which your competitors are killing it at.
Yeah. Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. We got more social proof here, man. My dog, somebody I've known forever. And you've been winning since I've known you, though.
Wow.
You've been up a long time.
That is such an amazing statement. That is not true.
No, Skittlez. When I met you, you was popping.
Okay.
And you had your Cupcake Mafia brand was going crazy. Mm-hmm. Cupcake Mafia store. Yep. And then I saw you turn the store upstairs into like a content creation photo shoot area type joint. Yep. And then you went on to do some amazing things with some amazingly talented people in the management space. And then you open up your own content creation studio, 20,000 square feet. And then you're married to another rich man, which we thought for a long time that he was using your money. But
my God.
No?
First of all, you can't think the caliber of the woman that I am would ever continuously be in a relationship with a man and allow him to use my money.
First off, Oprah got Stedman.
You don't know.
Not that Stedman ain't have nothing going on, but Oprah got Stedman. Okay.
So the thing, wait, because we got to dive into this, right? Because that was the narrative with me and my husband for so long, because he never had Instagram and he's quiet, right? So honestly, I work with a client right now who's very popular on the internet, but her husband is in the oil industry. So he doesn't have an Instagram. He doesn't care about posting. But trust him, their house is 30,000 square feet. So to me, I think I want to change that perception in life.
I know what Zoe is.
You know.
I know what he do. But I'm saying for a while, everybody's seeing, this guy, I guess he's in clothes, and then you got Skittlez. So this is the narrative.
Of course.
Now, I know Zoe is all the way up because he's giving me a lot of money. Okay, we've done business ventures together, and it's never like hey, give me a couple of days. It's like, check your account. I'm like, dang.
And that's a good portion of our relationship in the beginning. Like, I had a clothing brand, and I was growing it and scaling it. And the person that I knew after my first divorce, the person that I knew that I wanted to be with long term would need to match my hustle, my drive, and the ability to sometimes fund my dreams when I'm down, and me have the ability to fund his dreams if he was down as well. Now we've been together 10 years. He's never been down, but I mean, never. Zoe ain't never been down, because Zoe is just a quiet hustler. Like I was getting on him the other day because I was like, babe, you do so much that I don't feel a part of. Like, my husband is so big on life insurance, legacy planning. All of our kids got multi-million-dollar policies. I don't know. I'm like, Okay, great. I see every week a new State Farm person come and jab me. I'm like, I need to put this on public record. But I'm like, you know, he's really big on the investing side and just really knowing where every single dollar goes in your business and how to triple it, where I feel like I've always been on the side of working really, really hard. And Zoe works very, very smart. Like Zoe can be a one-man band and like make millions of dollars. Meanwhile, my payroll is like 6 figures. So, and it's always been how it's been. But the reason why I think it's very important is that women sometimes overlook the men that have it going on but are very quiet about it. Like most women that are in my space will look at the more flashier person on the internet, and that was me at one point in time when I met Zoe. He's like, oh, I don't got no Instagram, but I'm taking my mom to Dubai. I'm like, ugh, Cap, like,
because if you can't see
here you go. And then like he comes back, shows me all these pictures, send me all the pictures. I'm like, why you ain't posting on Instagram? Who you trying to hide from? He's like, my life ain't on Instagram. I don't care about that. So it was a big transition to me. Also, what you don't know, Dave, I'm always coming on your podcast, give you all the secrets. When I met Zoe, I felt like I was in a very pivotal place in my life. Like I had, you know, my own apartment, my car, like I had everything. And Zoe had 10 retail stores, but was living with his mother, was living with his mom. So I'm like, hold on, do you got it like that for real? Like, are you stable? He's like, I'm good. I got 10 retail stores. I got employees crazy. Like, come to South Carolina and see what I got going on. But it was that stability piece that was like, but you ain't got no Bentley or you ain't got no this. Is it really real? Until I needed to ship a Jimmy Jazz order that was like $50,000. And I called him and I was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to spend so much time on the phone with you and dating you this week. I gotta hustle. And he's like, what you mean? I'm like, I'm coming down there this weekend, but I'm not gonna be able to talk to you that week because I have to be able to hustle up this money to be able to ship this PO. And he was like, oh, okay. Leaving that weekend, I was getting in my car to go back. He came to the car and was like, here's the money for the PO. When you get it, just give it back to me. It's no problem. But I can't miss a day without talking to you. So it's like,
wow.
Yo, when we get married? Hold on. Are we married? Like, wow. So it was that moment when I really knew, like, not only did he have my back, but the capacity of the man that he had the potential to truly be.
So
we be sleeping. Ladies, we be sleeping. I know. And y'all be like, how you get his out? Oh, I got him, but he was living at his mom's house. And I wasn't all that good either. He stuck with me on an airbed for 6 months, you know, while I rebuilt my brand and rebuilt my business. So I think when you are preparing that relationship, there has to be some give and take.
Yeah, for sure. If y'all know Zodago, y'all know Zodago, right? Yeah. So that's Skittlez' husband. But that obviously, you know, perception is everything, right? But everybody, now I didn't care much, but and I met Zoe. I think we met in Vegas at like a trade show.
Yeah,
I know he was like putting orders and all that kind of stuff. I knew he was good, but the aesthetic was, who's this guy? Skittlez is Skittles. Skittlez is lit. And that was the perception, but that's actually who these ladies need to be going after.
Yes.
The person who got it that ain't showing it, because a lot of times the people that's showing it are showing it to be extra because of some sort of insecurity that behind the scenes no one can find out that I'm in financial trouble.
Yes.
That's real.
And one thing that I had to realize is, like, one thing that I absolutely love about the man that I married is he does not care. Yeah. Like, he truly does not care what is going, like, he doesn't care about the flashy things or having the cars or looking a certain way. You know, though, he show up in slides, t-shirts, like, he don't care. He doesn't care to be at all the events and the who's who and for people to know him. Like, he cares about impact over income all day. And even with our family, a lot of times I've had to adjust me as a person to be the wife that I know that he needs and deserves, because I'm a worker. Like, I'll stay at work all day and I'm like, okay, when I get home, I'll cook, I do this, I do that. But he's like, nah, like, we're taking our whole family. Like, I don't care about that job. I don't care about that event. Tell them if the whole family can't come, you can't speak. I'm like, I can't speak. Like, this is a huge event. He's like, yeah, and they should respect that you're a mom. So it's a lot of things that he pushed into me, like, morally, that he's like, that money, is going to come and go. Remember, we dated 7 years ago and you were on an airbed figuring it out. And those people that were, loved you and cared about you and your Instagram followers, they didn't care about you then. They weren't pouring into you then. So don't forget about the people that care about you, whether you got it or not.
That's real. So this whole time where everyone thinks Skittle is extremely litty, there were some times where you weren't litty.
Yeah. Lots of times. I mean, obviously everybody knows the airbed story where I built Cupcake Mafia up. And this is kind of a narrative that I want to speak more publicly about, is because we are building our businesses and we consider them our babies, right? And you can never think to give your baby to somebody else and let them do whatever they want with it. Like, you have children, you would never allow a random stranger to just watch your kids, right? But now that I know what I know now, my business is not my baby, it's a business. And that's it. And that's my ties to it as well. Do I want it to bring impact? Absolutely. Do I want it to bring income? Absolutely. But it is a business, not a baby, right? And so when I built Cupcake Mafia up, I was like, this is my baby. Oh my God. I felt like my whole entire being resulted around the success of this business. So when I partnered with those investors and I ended up getting fired from my company, I also felt like my entire being failed. I felt like Mary or Skittlez, the person, had completely failed as well. And it's like, you didn't fail. You still have so many other skills that went on to birth so many other businesses, but it was the mind process, right? It was a process of figuring out in my mind, if I did it before, I can do it again. And that one failure was not the trajectory of my entire life. So when I was on that airbed, I was like, I'm about to go work a job. Like, I literally hired someone to build me a resume. I thought that what I did with Cupcake Mafia was just a anomaly. I thought it could not ever happen again. And it wasn't until one of my friends was like, girl, you built $1 million business, do it again. And I'm like, you're right. The same things that was inside of me to build that business is the same things that's inside of me now. And now I have 5 multi-million-dollar businesses that were built on that airbed. So I literally, when I chose to not give up on myself, like I felt like the business had gave up on me, that's when my life really started, you know? Also, I feel like you will really build the biggest like glow for your life in the darkest times, because you'll start to weigh out who's really around you, who really got your back, who you've been pouring into, and now your cup is empty. You're like, hey, where y'all at, right? It'll really show you what you're capable of. And in that moment, I created the Icing Agency. I created Girl Mob. I built my blueprint for the bakery co-working space after joining another co-working space and not really feeling welcome. I started management. I opened a factory in China. Like, it was, I have to do everything. Like, something has to stick. I have a family that is depending on me, and I can't let that one failure that I went through be my entire trajectory of my life. So I had to change that narrative. Like, that was the lowest time of my life. But since then, opening a co-working space in a pandemic, that ain't easy. Yeah. I was scammed twice, over $500,000.
You were scammed?
Yes, like working with contractors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been there.
Yep. Come,
a couple times.
Pay the money, never see them again. So, you know, for me, just understanding, like, if I can make it through that, like if I can make it through surviving on an airbed for 6 months, trying to fight for your brand back, I can make it through anything. So
one thing I think is cool, you still manage people.
I don't manage people. I manage their brands. So I have a marketing and branding company. It is a difference. Okay. So being a manager, you are managing every aspect of their life, every aspect. Their personal, their emotional, their public, the marketing, who they are. You're basically, you have Play-Doh in your hands and you have to construct them into what you want them to look like, sound like, be, it is a lot. Whereas managing a brand is only managing the branding or marketing and getting the results from doing both of those things. So I'm not necessarily managing people, I'm managing their brands.
So I need help, period.
Okay.
How would you help me? Would you manage me or manage my brand?
I would manage your brand. So for example,
I don't need like emotional support that a manager would have to do.
Exactly. So that's why you need brand management. Brand management is able to have an outside, be able to look at your brand from an outside persona and tell you what you need to change. Like I can look at your page right now and I can tell you everything that you need to change. I feel like people identify David Shands with Social Proof podcast and they don't identify David Shands for David Shands. And you were already a person. Like you had books, you had best-selling books. You went from working at the Cheesecake Factory and teaching people how to build a t-shirt business. People don't even identify you with that story anymore. They just identify you as a podcaster that attaches your audience to other people's story. But what about your individual story?
Isn't that a good narrative if that was my goal? I mean, because that's my goal, really, to keep people like singularly focused on one objective. So, I mean, I'm not a big self-promotion person, but what do you think? Do you think that is a good idea?
I don't think it's a good idea because ultimately in the end goal, right? Like obviously if you were thinking about your 5-year, 10-year plan, are you planning on being 60 and having your podcast, right? Like, are you planning on Howard Sterning this thing or, whoever has the longest running show that is senior level? Are you planning on being that person, right? If not, if you're planning on being a person where you can go and speak at Howard about what you've done and how you've overcame working at a Cheesecake Factory to building a t-shirt line, doing 7 figures, and then starting a podcast and building a university around podcasting and all of these things, you have to detach David, the person, from the podcast.
And how do I do that?
You do that by personal branding, right? So when you think of P. Diddy, you don't think of his record label. You think of, you would book Diddy.
You think of Diddy.
You think of Diddy.
For sure.
You're definitely not thinking about Danity Kane, making the band, and all of the
Day
other
26,
people.
You're not thinking about that.
You're not thinking about all the people that Diddy has built. You're not thinking about all the products that Diddy is attached to. When we think of Beyonce, we don't think of Darion. We don't think of Ivy Park.
True. Not even Destiny's Child.
We don't think of Destiny's Child because they do so good of being a personal brand and letting their businesses live on their own.
So I need to step my personal branding game.
Yes.
How much you charge? How much you going to charge me?
I charge a little bit.
About. Around about. Like, I mean, okay, let me ask you this. You probably charge people a number, right?
Yes.
But would you charge a percentage of how much you can make me make?
No.
Help me make? Why not?
Because one, I have 30 employees that get paid every single week.
True.
And I offer a done for you service. So my agency is for people that literally want to do nothing. They're like, I have this idea. I have no idea how to bring it to life, and I don't have the people to attach to it that can make it larger than life. So you bring me your idea. You say, hey, I have this water. It's an amazing company. I have a great name, but my packaging sucks. I don't have any influencers. I don't have a website. We do everything for you. Not only do we redo your packaging, we do your website, we do all of your branding, all of your reels, all of your content to create that lane for you. We attach influencers to this brand so we can get everybody to be like, oh my God, this water made me look beautiful, blah, blah, blah. We attach influencers to your brand, which is automatically bringing your product into an audience of people that would have never known about it before, right? And you don't move a finger. You don't move a finger. So there's 3 different ways that you work with my agency. A la carte, which is people that pay $5K and less. Premium, which is people that pay $5 to $15K.
Okay, I was just about to have you text in here how much it's going to be.
Yeah, no, I'm going to tell you.
So, hold on.
Premium,
okay, so you said 5 and under is?
A la carte.
A la carte.
So how we describe it in my office is like, y'all know the video, like, let me hold you, like that, right? So a la carte is like this. We got you, but it's not as hands-on.
What will I get?
You can get a logo. You can get a website. You can get things that could be one-offs, and we can get your feedback virtually. Okay. So you're not talking to anyone. You're not allowing our brains to work with your brain to make something bigger. You're basically submitting a form, telling us what you want, and we deliver it to you at the highest capacity of what you ever would have got online. Okay. So that's our a la carte division, right? Mm-hmm. Our premium division is a little bit closer. So lit. Our premium division a little bit closer because now you're working directly with my team. Mm-hmm. And all of my team has been trained by me to know exactly what I will allow and would not allow into the marketplace, right? You also get me to review everything, and I have 1 to 2 calls with my premium clients, right? And you get like a mood board. You know exactly what you're getting along your journey. There's no blindness. Like you get a visual mood board. You know when you come to the shoot, this is what you're gonna look like. This is how you're gonna pose. These are the reels we're gonna create. This is what your social media will look like in 30 days. We do all of that. And then the elite is white glove service. Our clients literally show up 1 day a month. We do all of their branding. So imagine if you had 30 reels created in 1 day and your audience never knew that it was created on the same day. And captions and everything set up for you. It's like a lot of times people can't grow their personal brands because you're in the personal brand, right? You can't see the picture when you're in it. Yeah. So you need someone to tell you, like, Dave, I honestly think if your goal is to be on Bloomberg or your goal is to be on Forbes, I think some of your segments, you should dress up a little bit, or you should articulate yourself in this way. Or I think we should take social proof and go speak at more colleges so you can start to get that college audience that will book you as David Shands to teach whatever it is that you're teaching to colleges. So you need someone to be able to like look at you and say, you know what? You're doing a great job, but you could be doing more. And this is what you do to get there.
God, you do the work. Like, here's what I want. Here's what I want. I need somebody to go get me some money.
Okay.
Go get me a speaking gig. Go get me. You know what I mean? They come in like, Casey, like every, a few times a month, people reach out like, y'all want to pay you for this. And it'd be too low. I'm not leaving my house for that. But I
think it's all about personal branding, right? Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, your personal brand dictates every move that you want to make. Mm-hmm. If you are not putting yourself out there as the person that wants more speaking engagements, you're not going to get them. What I see on your brand is that you care about Social Proof Podcast.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
So guess what you get? A bunch of people in your DMs that want to be on your podcast. You've never once articulated.
How you know? Did y'all tell her that? Y'all tell her what's in my DMs?
No, of course not. I'm a brand strategist. Like, I can tell you, I can read most clients' mind and see what they're going through even before they articulate it to me, because I can see what your audience is perceiving about you that you're not seeing. Not one time have you ever went on Instagram and articulated and put a speaker's reel together and articulated, hey, I'm now open for more speaking engagements. Let me know. Let me know where should I speak at, right? You just use the people that you're connected to and you say, you know what? Why they not booking me? They booking you because we feel like you sit on this couch all day and do podcasts and you don't got time to be on stage with us, right? So when you change, that was me as well with my personal brand last year. I honestly felt like, okay, I've done this. In 2020, my marketing agency did $16 million. I opened a co-working space in the middle of the pandemic.
Whoa. Slow down. First off, you said your marketing agency did $16 million?
Correct. The icing agency, yes.
The one you were just talking about, the 5 and the 10s and the...
Of course.
The little let me hold you down?
Yeah.
$16 million?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Just from the... Okay, there got to be some other money in there because you would have to be helping every brand in the world.
No, you don't.
I'm saying...
solve richer people problems.
No, what I'm saying, so I pay you, let's say a premium client. How much is that? Like, how much is that?
How much is
if I'm a premium client?
$500,000.
I mean, okay, let me just calm down. Okay.
And that's, first of all, elite, right? We're talking about elite. We're talking about, I mean, you guys can go on my Instagram and look at the clients. I'm not a big name dropper. Like, I hate dropping.
Can you give me one client that did the 500?
No, I'm not gonna.
Or not did the 500, but
okay, I can tell you some of my elite clients that I've worked with, right? And their budgets, I don't want you to identify them with they paid me $500,000, but just know that they receive white glove service no matter what they paid, but they were elite client. Okay. Grant Cardone, Tamar Braxton, Candy Burris. I've worked Coca-Cola, Sprite, Monster headphones.
They paid $500,000. Monster for sure. Okay, so that's lit.
Another reason why I don't like to publicize all of the clients that I work with is because I kind of want I want their audience to believe that it's their genius. Yeah. I don't want to be, I'm not trying, like how they were like, oh, all right, Diddy gonna be on your records. Like, I don't want to run my agency like that. I want people to know that they can trust me and come to me and I be the brains for their entire operation without saying, oh yeah, I did this. I told them what to say. I told them what to look like. I told them but that's what my agency is doing.
So you told Grant Cardone to wear his hat backwards? Was that you?
I did not.
Okay.
Grant, no, we did lifestyle marketing for Grant.
Okay.
So we did a lot of lifestyle marketing for Grant. One of the highest performing reels we created on his page. So we did a lot of lifestyle marketing. First of all, I love Grant.
Grant, some of our that interview we only did one. Them joints still be kind of viral on TikTok.
I love Grant. I love his wife, Elena. That is how I started working with them through Elena. And I just think that sometimes when you have employees, let me tell y'all this for everybody that's watching. When you have employees, every single no that they get, it alters their perception and creativity. So if you tell your employee, no, I don't like this graphic. No, I don't like the way, I'm not going to pose like that. I don't want to sit like that. In their mind, they are thinking, I don't want to give him other suggestions because he's not going to like it, right? Having a brand strategist come in, you hired me to tell you what you're doing wrong. So I don't care if you like it or not. I'm going to tell you what you want, what you don't want to hear to be able to get the results that you actually want. So I'm going to tell you, no, you need to dress up. Yeah, everybody told you you can wear a t-shirt. You don't need to wear a t-shirt. If you're trying to get here, the people that are going to take you serious are going to take you serious in this way. So you have to formulate your brand to be a little bit different, to be taken serious by those people.
Got it. Hey, y'all not afraid to bring me ideas, right?
No. They're not going to tell you that.
Kay, are you?
It's real quiet in here.
Are you? No? Are you sure? You can tell me.
But would you tell him that if you didn't like what he wore to set today and you think he should dress up?
Would you tell me that? Would you tell me? Reese, you tell me. Yeah, if I was swaggerless today, and it's just. Yes, you tell me.
If they had something to do with something I know.
Yeah. Okay. Would you tell me if I was? No. Why? I don't. Why wouldn't they tell me? I don't. I mean, I'm not
because it doesn't. One, they could feel like it could affect your confidence. Also, it could.
I'll just roast you back.
They also could feel. They also could feel like it may affect your confidence in them. Like your confidence in them to, okay, now I wore this button up and now all my clients, all my fans are roasting me and like, oh, you wearing a button up now? So now you may lack confidence in them to believe what they told you was actually good.
True. You don't think I need to wear a button up though, right? That's not what you're hitting at.
I mean, I definitely think you could. I think
spruce
you
it up
could.
A little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
On a regular?
I mean, I honestly think where I see Dave being in the future commands a different aura than what you currently have. Is this a coaching session?
A little bit.
Chelsea, can you invoice it?
No, but I'm saying, so let me ask this. Is there someone that you think that is going to that higher level that needs to dress the way I dress?
I mean, honestly, I feel like when you look at EYL and what they've been able to do, and you look at their first episode versus where they're currently at and where they're currently going, they have shifted the narrative around what EYL is, and they showed up looking the part, you know? I just think that where you want to be in 5 years should start now. Like my personal rebrand, honestly, I used to be so busy focused on making sure all of my businesses and my brands were successful, making sure Girl Mob was successful, making sure the icing agency was successful. And I have multiple businesses. So people always looked at me as, we don't really know what Skittlez does, but we know that she do a lot, right? And depending on who knew me, every narrative was different. You would say something different. Someone else would say something different about me. Right now, I want people to know that I'm building the next WeWork for female entrepreneurs. Like, I'm building the next WeWork, but make it pink. I need everybody to know that. I don't want them to know I have agency, I have Girl Mob, I have this, I have that. Those brands already exist on their own. They're already doing great on their own. I already have a team built around those brands, right? So when you go to my page, I can't just give hacks or here, share this content or da-da-da-da, because I know that that's not what Forbes is looking for. I know that's not what Bloomberg is looking for. I know that's not where what Oprah is not trying to come to my page and see me selling the ebook. I'm sorry.
You're talking good.
She just isn't, you know? So, and not shading those that sell ebooks, because I have tons of them, right? But it lives on the business page that brand is around. It lives on Girl Mob. My marketing services live on the icing agency. You don't need to come to my page and say, you need a logo? 3 steps on how to get your logo. You don't need that. Like my brands, you're not going to Jeff Bezos' page to find out how Amazon shipping is working. You're not going to Oprah's page to figure out what article she's writing next. Like, where do you see yourself being 10 years from now?
This is so good.
Also, ladies that's watching this, it also goes back to, who do you see yourself being 10 years from now? And are you dating that person that you see yourself being with in 10 years? Like, my relationship now is solely based on who I knew I was going to become. Like, I knew our first date with me and Zoe, it was an interview. Are you in debt? How many kids do you want? What's your plans? You live in South Carolina. Are you moving to Atlanta? It wasn't aggressive. Of course, I was like, okay.
So would you consider moving to Atlanta?
Yeah, I was like, would you consider moving to Atlanta? How many kids do you want? Because I already knew that I didn't want more than 2 kids. Yeah. Right? So if he was to say, I want 4 kids, I want a big family, I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah, we're not even compatible right now. Yeah. So I already know the trajectory of my life. We're not going to align. And so many people are listening to this podcast right now, and they wonder wondering, why am I not where I want to be? Because you're not aligned with the person that is in the car with you. So you trying to go left, he trying to go right. I already knew from day one we were both going left together. And when it's time to go right, we both going right together. That's so it. I think when it comes to me, I'm thinking so far ahead. I'm thinking, where is the bakery, icing agency, Girl Mob gonna be in 5 years? My goal is to sell all of my businesses, right? And if I'm thinking about selling all of my businesses and living my best life, and my grandchildren living off of the businesses that I've built and struggled with for 15 years, I need to personally detach from those businesses so that when the business sells, I don't sell.
Got it. Okay. Okay, before I say what I'm about to say.
Wait, quick question. Do you think that Social Proof in 10 years could be successful without you?
Yeah.
Really?
For sure.
Who?
Absolutely.
Who would take it over?
Well, we got like 5-6 shows now.
Okay.
So it's a network. That guy sold his podcast network for like $300 million. So, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think that that's important for you to start training your audience to feel that way as well. It is very important for every small business that is listening to train our audience and our employees to work without us.
Yeah.
get used to coming in the bakery and not seeing me. Like no one ever comes to the bakery and is like, I'm going to co-work with Skittlez today.
I'll be here every day.
No one thinks that. No one thinks that.
I love it though. I'll be here every day. I'm here. I live here.
Yeah. And that's cool until that's cool. And that's me too. And that was me, really. It's cool until you realize like, dang, I'm missing moments that I could really be living with my family. Yeah. I'm missing moments that, wow, my daughter came home with a whole speech and she knew it. And I wasn't a part of her learning that, you know? I think that it's very important that we run businesses, but not let the business run us.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, but I think for my particular situation, I enjoy it. And I would sacrifice, I guess, long-term system stuff for me doing what I like to do right now. It's not like I have to. Sometimes I'm just here and we chopping it up. We talking about what we're going to talk about. But I think for the space that I'm in right now, I love building. You know what I mean? I love being in the mix. Mm-hmm. And I don't have, like on Thursdays, typically I take my daughter to gymnastics. It's not like I have to be somewhere at a certain time. Yeah. But I think also it's going to depend on obviously what your goal is.
Yeah.
So I wasn't thinking, am I doing some things that will prevent me from making 600 million later? I wasn't really thinking about that. I got to ask you another question too. That's something that me and Donnie were discussing. You think I'm too accessible?
Yes, certainly. Accessibility brings your value down.
I'll be around too.
Accessibility brings your value down.
I'll be so in the mix.
Think about, I really hate saying names, but think about Beyonce. Think about Oprah. Think about Tyler Perry live in Atlanta, right? But you never see him. So if he does an event today and announced it right now on his Instagram, would you go?
Of course.
But if you've seen him every day this week, would you go?
No.
So
I probably would go, but I wouldn't be as excited. Or if I had some other stuff to go on, I'd be like, oh, I'll see him tomorrow.
Exactly. And I think that, again, how we run our businesses nowadays dictates the cult following that you're ultimately going to build. And it dictates how much people are going to pay you. How much would you pay somebody that you see every day versus somebody that you never see and you dream to be in that room? Beyonce did not care that our financial crisis when she listed her Renaissance tickets. I questioned myself, and I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I was like, babe, this might be a gift, Mom. You get what I'm saying? But she didn't care because she knows that the people that are going to be in that room are going to figure it out. Yeah. You either see me in Atlanta or you never see me.
Yeah.
I think that we've built our businesses to feel like accessibility means community, and it doesn't.
We think that accessibility means community.
Yes. You think having to show up every day, having to hug people, having to know their kids' birthdays, and you think Jeff Bezos knows all his hundreds of thousands of drivers, but they still at your door on Sunday. On Easter, I got packages. They were still there. That man don't know that person's name, but that person is attached to the core values and the mission of Amazon. And that person has attached his personal goals to his professional goals, which is why he shows up on Sunday. It has nothing to do with Jeff Bezos.
What if you really, really like the engagement? I love it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Waking up in the morning, jumping on his morning meetup call, it does more for me than it does for them. That I get a chance to speak and teach, and I get to see all these people, and I'm seeing people grow. What if you like it?
I think, what is the end goal? Because it's cool when you like it, but what about when you don't?
Right.
What about when there is issues at home and you let me pull myself out of bed, craft myself up into this person that has to run the morning meetup, and I don't even feel like meeting up with myself for real.
Right.
Like, what about those days? What about those months? What about those years when your daughter's like, no, daddy, like, it's summer break. I want to be on vacation. I want to do this. I want to do that. What about those days? I think for me, right, my daughter is 5 years old. Mm-hmm. She's been to 15 countries and she's been on 500 flights.
Dang.
And I'm not saying that as a boastful thing. Sometimes as a mom, I question myself on, is this right for her? Mm-hmm. Does she want, like, literally, it's funny, this whole week, instead of my daughter saying, oh, Mom, we going to school? She literally wake up, I'm like, good morning, baby. Good morning, we going to the airport? I'm like, Zoe, no. We're going to school. We're not going to the airport? I'm like, no. Oh, and it starts to challenge me because now her school is like, oh, y'all going somewhere this weekend? Y'all. I'm like, yeah. we are. Like, but it makes me think, like, is that what she wants to do as her 5-year-old self? Or does she want to be at a park? Does she want to say, Mom, are we going to the park? Most 5-year-olds are saying, Mom, are we going to the park? They're not saying, Mom, we're going to the airport. They don't know about TSA. They don't know about taking all the laptops and iPads out of your bag, you know? So I think when I think about how my life is and who it impacts, I want to live for not only myself, but the people that it impacts as well, which is my husband, which is my children. So when you think about that 10 years, your wife probably makes a lot of sacrifices from you being here. Your wife probably makes a lot of sacrifices from you running your business. Zoe makes a lot of sacrifices for me being in my day-to-day, which is why I hired a VP, which is why I hired an operations manager, because I don't want, it's cool. We've been doing this 10 years, but what about the day? In 10 years, Dave, there's never been a day when my husband has called me and said, babe, let's go to lunch during a work week, and I went in 10 years. Unless we're on vacation or unless we planned around that. And when I see him at brunch with y'all, I'll be like, oh, you went to brunch with me? Oh, I see you at brunch. You didn't bring me nothing to work. But there hasn't been a day. But trust me, do you not think that he wants his wife to be like, babe, we going to lunch. Babe, we going to Greece. Babe, we out. He's altering his lifestyle based upon my own dreams. So there's some sacrifices that he's making as well. I have to be as knowing my 10-year plan. So maybe this is not where you are right now, but in 10 years, would your wife be tired? In 10 years, would your daughter be like, okay, daddy, I'm sitting in the back of the podcast. I know how to work the mics, the lighting, but I really want to be at the park, right? So as we grow and really understand where we want to see ourselves in 10 years, like, you need to live and build around that.
I think, I 100% think you're correct. In my particular situation, it's not like I have to, right? Our team, they, everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and we do well. But it's not like some people do run their business like a job. So when I was working at the kiosk in the mall, I had to be there. Like, I'm talking about all day. If somebody called out, I got to be there. It's like, it just is what it is, right? But I think there's a element of what fulfills me as people. And I don't know if I want to sacrifice the fulfillment of looking in someone's eyes, they have a question and I can answer it, and they go out and say, yo, the thing that had been plaguing me for the last 6 months, you gave me the answer. I don't know if I want to sacrifice those feelings for my 10-year plan.
And I just want to be clear, like, I don't sacrifice that, right? I still have Girl Mob, a digital community of thousands of women that pay $50 a month that I show up to, right? We have a live class every single week. It's not with me.
Is it thousands?
Thousands.
That pay 50?
Yeah, that pay 50 every month.
You get into this money, Skittlez, you hear me? You get to this money. Okay, go ahead. I just be catching little flexes that aren't really a flex, and they just come out. You're like, hey.
Thousands of women. We also have the selfie museum attached to that. That is amazing. We service over 300 people a weekend. So all of those businesses, again, are built to live without me, but when I show up, it's greater, right? I want the business to be great, but when I show up, it's greater. I think that we are building our businesses to only be greater when we're involved. And when we step away, when we're having a challenging day, they're like, oh, we might as well cancel this membership. Dave ain't been on there. We might as well cancel this, right? Girl Mob has been running 5 years. 5 years. And I need to show up. My mandatory time is once a month. But how I show up, 6 times a month, 7 times a month, 3 times a month, depending on how it is. But when I show up, I'm going to get them so much value. They're going to be like, oh, this $50, psh, I might as well already pay for a year. Pay for a lifetime membership. Because when I show up, I'm going to give so much value. Another thing is, if Charlie's cheesesteaks, right? You know, in the mall where they give you the little sandwich. What if they gave you a 6-inch as a sample? Would you buy it?
Of course not.
You wouldn't buy the full, right? Why?
You gave me the whole joint.
A lot of times we're showing up to our businesses, giving our audience the full joint over and over and over again. They haven't even processed what they consumed. And you giving them more, and you giving them more, and you wonder why they cancel. They're canceling because their mind is still stuck from 3 days ago on the information that you gave them, and you telling them, oh, the homework that we gave you 3 days ago, you ain't do it, but no, you gave me homework yesterday, and I'm a mom, and I'm a wife, and I already got all this information, haven't been able to get results from this information, you giving me new information. Now I'm combating if this information is better than the information you gave me on Monday. They already full.
That's real.
They paid $9.99. And they don't need the sandwich. They don't need the sandwich because they already have consumed it all. Most scalable businesses require you to have more and more and more. Think of every $1 billion business. Don't you think Walmart would make it easier for everybody to shop and just put one thing, like, okay, they know people coming to get bread, milk, put it all on one aisle. Instead, they make you go around and around, and you're going to pick up this, pick up that. I came to Walmart on Friday to get 2 things, and my cart ended up being $400. Why? Because I'm walking around and people calling me. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. We got milk. We got this. Every multi-million-dollar business is that way. No one is giving you the full thing. Even when you go on Amazon, you order tissue, they're going to say, you want a subscription?
Yeah.
They're not giving it to you.
Dang.
They're keeping you coming back. You want to add this on? We are giving, burning ourselves out and really burning our audience out because they're not able to handle the capacity of information that they're consuming.
Got it. So if you start brand managing me, I can't come outside no more. Is that what you're saying?
No, you could come outside, but you could come outside when it's valuable. Like you could come outside when, hey, we're doing a social proof podcast tour. We're doing this, we're doing that. Because I guarantee you, you can count on your hands. 3 months ago, there were 5 people that were super committed to being a part. They were always on the meetups. They were always there. And then you're like, where did 5 people go? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
It's because you gave. And then they like, ooh, I'm full. I can't take no more. But what if you gave them a little bit that led on to them wanting more? You gave them more, led on. And that's how people are able to see success. Yeah. That's how people are able to see results. So when working with my agency, that's why I only do 30-day contracts, right? I used to be, oh my God, I got to sign this client for 6 months because I need to know 6 months from now how much they're paying me and blah, blah, blah. Nah, 30 days, I'm going to blow your business out the water. And in 30 days, if you're not happy, we both can part ways and you leave with everything that I built for you, right? Because I know that I have 30 days to prove myself, prove what I can do. 6 month people that put you on retainers, y'all, no shade to people on retainers, but just make sure that what they're doing in 6 months, they couldn't do in 1 month. In that 1 month, I'm going to give you all the value. I'm going to connect you to as many people as I can connect you to. I'm going to redesign your labels. I'm going to re-update your website. Like, look on my Instagram. We just did a movie. We did Countryway movie. He gave me 30 days to get his movie charting on Amazon. We did the premiere, website graphics, social media management, press tour, influencer campaign, got him on all the blogs. The results, 376 people at his premiere, sold out, a fully packed premiere and number 18 on Amazon in 30 days. And guess what? They came back and was like, we need 30 more days, right? Man. Because if you give me 6 months, if you give anybody 6 months, they're gonna be like, all right, well, I got these other clients right now. I'm gonna focus on them. Month 2, then I'm gonna start, hey.
Right, how much he pay? Put it on there.
How much I'm gonna charge you?
No, how much he pay? First off, let's do that number first. All right, okay, how much you gonna charge me?
Did you see that?
Yeah, throw another number. And how much you gonna charge me? And it's
somewhere between this number and...
I ain't mad at that. Okay, all right. But I don't have no movie coming out. What you gonna do?
Oh, we gonna do a lot. You
got some plans for me, huh?
For sure. It's so much more you can be doing, Dave.
Okay.
Truly. And you know what? You know what saddens me a little bit? What saddens me as a brand strategist, and this is what has held my personal career back. Because I will pour into other people's cup more than I pour into my own. Yeah, and sometimes as a brand strategist, you see what everyone else should be doing and you're telling them, and while you're consumed doing that, you're not telling yourself what you should be doing.
Correct.
So I was telling people, you need to do this, you need to launch this podcast, having all my clients have viral sensation podcast when I wanted a podcast, right? But I'm like, I just told them to do that. So do I do it? So that's one thing that I have fought with myself about, is that I've always been the person to pour into everyone else. Since you've met me, you've seen so many people that I've built. Yeah. That are killing it right now.
For sure.
Right? That are scaling, doing amazing things, that when you met them, they were not in that situation, correct or wrong. Am I right?
No, 100%. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of the infrastructure of building a successful brand, most of the time comes from a brand strategist that is able to see the outside picture when the person on the other side is in it.
Gotcha. Let me ask this in terms of the influencer marketing strategy. You teach that often, right?
For sure.
How would that work for somebody that maybe doesn't even have as much traction as I got going on, or somebody that just, they got an idea? Is influencer marketing good for a new business owner?
Yes. Influencer marketing is good for any business owner. Any business owner, no matter what you're selling. Marketing is good for anybody, right? First of all, when you think of branding, let's start with that. Yeah. You have to have amazing branding, because branding is a lifetime. Yeah. When we think of the Nike logo, the girl sued them, she made like $20,000 from that logo. That is a lifetime branding tool, right? Yeah. So your branding gotta be aesthetically pleasing to attract the influencer. If I had an amazing brand, if you walk into the bakery, right? Yeah. The branding on that is so amazing that you would bring anybody for free. For sure. You would be like, oh, Beyonce, you're in town? I got to take you to the bakery, right? I wouldn't have to pay you to do that. But what if I had a little rundown, shabby co-working space with gray walls and tables, and I'm like, hey, bring Beyonce to the bakery. You like, Now you're scared because your integrity is based on my branding. Yeah. The fact that if I tell Beyonce to come to the bakery and it's shabby, she gonna think I'm crazy. Yeah. Right? And that's most of the time why influencers don't want to share your business to their audience, because now their integrity is questioned, because why are you sharing this? You got paid for this. Yeah. Right? That's right. So when you build the branding up to look so pristine, and whether you have followers or not, if I go to a website and it's beautiful, works well, everything is right, there's plenty of things that you've bought from a beautiful website and had no followers. Yeah. Right?
Yes, for sure.
And there's plenty of things that were highly marketed, and when you got to the website, you were like, something is off. Yeah. Even people's ads around their courses. You see all the ads, and when you get to the landing page, you're like, something is off, right? Yeah. So that's where branding and marketing mix. So the first thing before you work with influencers is to really review your brand. Create a focus group with 5 people, 10 people, and say, would you buy from me? Yeah. What does my Instagram profile need to look like for you to buy from me? What does my website need to look like for you to buy from me, right? Once you have that, then you say, now tell me 5 people, now that my branding is where it needs to be, tell me 5 influencers that you can see wearing my brand. They're going to be like, oh my God, you got a lipstick line? This person always wear lipstick and they never shout it out. This would be a great influencer for you, right? So now that your branding is stable and great.
You taking notes, Johnny? Taking notes? All right.
Now that your branding is amazing, you go to that influencer and you say, hey, listen, I noticed that you always wear red lipstick. And I know I'm a small business, but I have the capacity to ship hundreds of thousands of units. I just need the awareness. I would love to go 50-50 with you on a lipstick shade, and you promote it and market it to your audience, and bring them back to my website, and I'll give you 50% of the proceeds. You don't need to ship anything. You don't need to handle any customer service. With the right branding, that influencer is gonna be like, bet.
So,
because they're already missing out on money.
Yeah.
They're already wearing the red MAC lipstick.
Yeah.
If they could partner with you that already has great branding. If you think of Chick-fil-A, even without the name, without the aesthetic, without the branding, think of the first Chick-fil-A, right? The branding is still the Chick-fil-A that we see today.
For sure.
So it was that branding that commands people to walk into your building or walk into order on your website. Yeah. The moment when they like, this is Canva. It gives Fiverr.
For sure.
It gives vendors.
Yeah.
Right? It gives drop shipping.
Yeah.
How many times have you wanted to buy from a brand and it looked like it's being drop shipped?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not gonna get this in 5. This is gonna be 50 months.
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely coming from China.
Right.
You have Black Melanin Matters or My Black Power on stock photos that don't represent the culture. Yeah. So I really, for everybody that's listening, really look at what your brand represents and are you putting your best foot forward? Yeah. Would you buy from you? For real, for real. Not, yes, I would buy with my sob story. Yeah. Yes, I would buy because I'm a single mom and I'm making it on Canva and I'm doing the best that I can. No, that's not good enough because your competitors are smarter than you, cuter than you. They have more resources than you. So you have to be the best, right? I always tell people, save up. If you're going to build a brand, it doesn't cost a lot. Save up and hire the best person possible in your realm of business to give you advice on how you should do it.
Man, you have your, actually, I'm going to give you this number back. And then I'll help you with your podcast, right? And then I'm gonna give you the number you gave me, and then anyway.
Okay, let me see that because I need help.
I got you.
Okay.
We gonna work together. Y'all gonna see me less and less, y'all, and then I'll be making more money.
No. Okay, let me articulate that better too. I feel like a lot of stuff that you do every day could be done in one day.
Like what?
A lot of stuff that you do every single day could be done in one day.
What you mean?
You could film a certain amount of episodes 2 times a week and have the rest of the week a planning session with your team 1 day a week, and the rest of the week you be David Shands.
Yeah, we do. We only record on Wednesdays.
And you here.
Yeah, but we be doing stuff.
What?
What was you doing yesterday? Playing Madden. Yeah, we played Madden yesterday.
Oh, wow. Wow.
We weren't doing
align with your 5-year
I was doing but you know what? It was fun. You know what I mean? I really want to play Madden. But on Tuesday, we took it off, but we was doing like Bible study every Tuesday here. I do a lot of me stuff. And I've set up a lot of stuff that allows me to be okay. And I don't really work that hard like that. But I like coming up here.
Okay, but are you
then we come up with cool ideas.
Are you at a place where you want more financial success?
I'm at a place that if I didn't make more money, I'd be happy. Let me tell you something.
Really?
My kids stole all my ambition.
Okay.
All of it. Like, I used to want to just be out grinding and working and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to do that no more. So, like, literally, if I hate to say this, but I'm somewhat complacent. Mm-hmm. I'll do some cool stuff like we're buying a building and building out another concept. Mm-hmm. But it's not, I'm thinking, how much money can I make? I'm thinking, this would be so dope if we did it. So I'm at a point now where it's not about getting to the next level. I'm honestly not focused on the next level. I haven't thought, okay, what do I want to make $100 million in the next 10 years? Obviously, we could talk about it. It'd be cool, but that's not I don't know. I'm kind of complacent. That's what cool
that's
stuff.
A problem.
Why?
I think it's a big problem because I truly believe that God put us on this earth, right? And when we look at the heart monitor, it goes up and down. Mm-hmm. It goes up and down, right? Yeah. So if you are not having moments of where you want to be up or moments of when you're down and you want to be up and you're just flatlining, it's almost like the existence and the passion or the purpose that God put inside of you is kind of like flatlining, which to me is an issue because there should be more that you want. And it doesn't have to be financial. Yeah. It could be like, I actually want to experience more love, or I actually want to experience more time or more freedom or more peace.
Yeah,
so
I think
complacency doesn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be a certain level of ambition because you're still very ambitious to wake up every morning and do a meetup.
100%.
That is very ambitious.
No, it's not. It's Skittlez. It's not that I don't want, like I just said, we're about to build out a whole nother building. Like, it's like, what is this, so it's like 4 of these.
Yeah.
Put together. But I want to do things that I want to do. If there's something that I have to do and it will make me a lot of money, I'm inclined to just sit this one out.
What? Why?
Because I want to do stuff that I want to do.
Okay.
Okay, check this out. Say there's somebody wants to hire me for their company and they're going to give me, I don't know, $20 million for the next 2 years, but I got to move to Denver. I'm not going.
Of course not. But that doesn't work. It's not about trading money for success or trade. Right. It's not that. It is in 5 years, in 10 years, how is what I'm currently doing going to impact my family and the person that I want to be then, True. Right? Also, it's if someone that is more lit, that is more savvy, that has more relationships was to bypass you and get the opportunities that you may in the back of your mind want, but you currently think it's too hard or currently think, I just really want to play Madden. So, I want to be on Bloomberg, but I'm not really worried about it. But the moment you see that happening for someone else and you feel like, bro, that really could have been me.
I don't really feel like that. Because I know I'm going to be fine. I'm not stopping working by far.
I guess my question is, what is it that you want to do long term?
Yes. Okay. All right. Here we go. I need to 10x my morning meetup community.
Okay.
There's like 1,000 people now. The goal is 10,000.
All right.
So I'm figuring out how to do that. So that's more. Obviously, it comes with more money, more opportunity. It comes with more. I definitely want to do that. I want to be responsible for more people launching successful podcasts than anyone in the world.
Yes.
Okay? We're building out podcasting suite. So I'm in this podcasting space 100%. Obviously, I want to get up the podcasting charts. I want to do top 10. I think we got to 50 or something like that. But I want to top 10 podcast charts. So I have ambition to do stuff, but
okay. So the ambitions that you just spoke about can be broken down. It can be broken down into ways to build those things up with less time, right? Okay, the morning meetup, right? I want to grow it to 10,000 members. How am I going to do that? And do I personally need to be on every morning meetup in order for it to convert the way that I want it to convert?
For sure.
Right? Or Even with the podcast, I want to help this many people grow their podcast. Do you know, Dave, that there are people in this world that will pay you $50,000 to sit with them and tell them how you've done it?
Let me give you this number. I'm about to send you this.
There are people.
And I'll tell you. I'll tell you how I did it. You know what I mean? Like, for your podcast.
No, I'm not paying you that. I'm not one of those people. But there are people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
When I started my agency, I started my agency in the corporate space. So my first client was a corporate client. Right. And once I realized that I was giving them a lot of great ideas that wouldn't really work for their structure because it's corporate. And most of the people that was on the board, in the boardroom, didn't understand their audience, right? Like, so marketing for them just didn't really mesh. So I was kind of torn between, yes, I'm making a lot of money with my agency, but I really have this passion to help people grow and see their businesses scale with my marketing and with my branding. I know that I have the information, right? So I started to create my marketing agency, and I started offering clients $5,000. Like, $5,000, you're going to come in for 30 days. We're going to give you everything. And when I tell you I was breaking my back, even in 2020, when you're like, how did you get to 16 million? It was clients from a la carte to premium to elite. It was all different clients that helped me get that number. And I worked blood, sweat, and tears on every single client. Was every single client happy? Absolutely not. But did I absolutely try my hardest to make every single client happy? I did. But in that moment, I realized $16 million came from blood, sweat, and tears. And the reality was $16 million could have came from my mind. $16 million, really? The millions of dollars that you're looking for is really in your mind before it ever reaches your hands.
Right.
So when I understood that the millions of dollars that I was making was from, I sorted it out and said, okay, how many clients did I service that paid this much? How many service? Guess what? The bulk of the clients that I serviced were under $20,000. How many clients that have to be to get to 16 million? How many nights did I did not sleep? How many nights did I miss time with my daughter? How many nights did I sacrifice, right? To be all in on my business and make these clients happy. And some of them were like, well, my logo, I want it glitter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of those clients you simply just could not please because of their price point.
Yeah, gotcha.
What I did was I said, you know what? I'm going to build a body of work that is undeniable to where when I walk into any room, I can show any case study and they're going to be like, you're hired. I can look at anybody's business, bring me a Microsoft, bring me an Amazon, bring me on any company, sit me in front of anybody, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you're doing wrong and why you're not targeting that customer that you're trying to target. And I'm going to build a whole marketing team around it. Bring me in front of anybody. I stand 10 toes down on that, right? So one, I had to build my own confidence up, and what I really brought to the table comes from my mind. It doesn't come from the graphics and the photo shoots, and all of those things are great because it's what's going to make your brand amazing, but really it's the strategy.
Yeah.
I made people millionaires to date. 10 people millionaires based off of my strategy that came from my mind, not based on the deliverables that we executed for that client. So what I did was I changed the narrative to say, I'm going to solve richer people's problems.
I'm going to solve richer people's problems.
So yes, you want to help everybody in the podcast space. You need 3 different tiers to be able to do that. The morning meetup is one. Your social proof podcast information could be another. And then you have the elite where it's people that are working with you and you're telling them, look, bro, the last episode was trash. Like, you can't, your posture, like, that's when you're giving them that white glove service to know, look, the people that you're booking, no, it doesn't align. All of those things, that's when you're building out that and you're building your team around those people that are going to pay you the $50,000. Last year, I had a client pay me $100,000 for 12 months straight.
What?
Yes.
What you mean? For
$100,000 a month for 12 months straight.
Really?
To do her marketing. Yeah.
Did it work?
It worked. She was on TED Talk. She was on
What's her
CNN.
page?
I'm not telling you.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Just show me. Just take me to her page real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna show you afterwards.
I'm not gonna say it on here. Just show it.
I'm gonna show you afterwards.
All right. Okay.
Dave is gonna DM her. Do you need a podcast?
You
she
know what?
actually does have a podcast. She really doesn't, yo.
You know what? I do respect what you're saying because you have a manager, yes? You have someone that's...
Yeah. I have someone helping me.
So what does Sean do for you?
Yeah, he helps me with my podcast.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So he's that person that is looking at my picture while I'm in it.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly, I feel like
How much
I've
you pay
always
him?
been...
Just throw me this number. How much... Just give me the number. I just want to know,
Y'all,
so I know what I need to be putting.
Take this.
I need to know what you pay, just so I know what I should be charging for the white glove service.
I don't. Yes.
A month?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Okay.
That's
so.
Shouts out to my boy.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, I think that a lot of times we need someone that is shining a light on us when we don't feel like we have that light, right? A lot of times we are walking around with the light inside of us, but we're scared. Like, we're like, oh, I don't want to be too boastful, or I don't want to be putting myself on, or I don't want to command. Like, you need someone that is working and navigating those rooms for you. You need someone to call somebody and say, hey, I need David to be on this podcast. Why he not on this stage? Why he not doing this? You don't want to call them and do that, right? You need someone that is navigating that space and telling you, Dave, listen, if your plan is to make $1 million, $10 million, $20 million, this is how you have to do it. This is how you have to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to set yourself up and have someone, not employees, because at the end of the day, they still work for you. So they're in your picture. They're still in your picture. They still emotionally are attached to you. So the moment when they want to tell you, I don't care, get it together, like, you have to film, they're gonna be like, no, he just wasn't feeling good today, and we should just give him a pass if he, I know that he's a dad, like, not me. I'm like, great, okay, what are the results that we're trying to get?
Yeah.
The results that we're trying to get is a #1 podcast. So in order for us to be a #1 podcast, we want to look at your competitors and see what they're doing, and then make a framework or a body of work that can exist on the levels in which your competitors are killing it at.
Yeah. Dang. This was a good session. I really stole your time. I really feel like you should send me an invoice.
I might.
Don't, but no, I think there's a lot of things that we don't discuss or even think about when it comes to personal branding. And what you gave me was a vision of who I want to become.
Yes.
Even as you're talking, I think that was maybe like the jolt of ambition that I needed, because my kids really just took my ambition, man. I just want to go home and play with them, and 5 o'clock I'm done.
Yep.
Typically, unless I have like something else going on, but it ain't even really, because I want to do some work, but Sarai is not playing. She just, no, daddy. She takes my phone and like, she'll grab it and like throw it. Every time I'm on the phone in her presence, she's like, nope.
Like, daddy time.
So yeah, for sure. So,
And I really just want you to be able to experience more moments like that and not feel the weight of, like, what I think about is, I was talking to my dad. And I wrote my dad a book because my dad I helped my dad write a book. It's his story, which, I found out a lot about him. I'm scared. But my dad is 79. He turned 79 this year. And, when I was starting my business, I remember a time where I was at a trade show and I thought that I would have enough money for payroll. This is like when I was on the airbed figuring out my business. And the order that I thought was coming, they didn't pay their invoice. And I called my dad and I was like, Dad, I need you to send me $10,000. He's like, oh, I just wish you went to college, you did this, and you just want to be selling t-shirts, like blah, blah. And I was like, Dad, listen, like, I'm crying at that major trade show. I'm crying in the middle of the hour and I'm like, Daddy, I just need you to believe in me. Like, if you don't do nothing else, I just need you to believe in me and believe that I am going to make it through this. Like, I'm not wasting your money. Like, I'm not out here buying materialistic things. Like, I need to pay these people. And like, I think that was the conversation that like kind of shook up our relationship a little bit. And, you know, we spoke and he's like, the money that I'm giving you now, I'm trying to leave for you later. And I didn't understand that. I'm like, I don't give a, Dad, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you are going to be here. I need the money now. Like, I have 4 girls that they're feeding their families because of me. I need the money. And I just didn't understand him. And he sent me the money. Like, after crying, after, you know, freaking out about it, he sent me the money. And last week, when we started to talk about his book, which is Surviving to Serve, my dad has been an activist, like pretty much his whole life, after leaving Vietnam and went through so much, right? And we were talking and he was like, I'm 79 and one of my insurance policies is about to be up. It's about to be mature or whatever. So do you want me to just take it out and give it to you to help you with your business now? Or do you want me to just leave it there? And I'm like, oh, leave it there. He's like, okay. He was like, I was checking you. I just wanted to see where you were financially as a business owner. Yeah. Were you in the desperation phase of, Dad, take it out, give it to me. I'm gonna figure it out, I'm gonna flip it. Or were you gonna tell me to leave it there and let it grow? He's like, it's so important that you start now at 30 years old thinking about what you're leaving for your kids. Like, you're good. There's 4 properties that are in your name. There's life insurance policies that are in your name. So although I may have not been the father that you needed me to be when you were younger, you and your children will be good based off the work that I did. So now it's completely shaping my mind because he is 79. And I did lose my mom 5 years ago, very young. My mom was 50. So, and I'm like, she didn't leave me anything. I paid for everything, right? I had to pay for the funeral. I had to pay for I had to pay for all of those things. No matter how financially stable I was, my family was like, oh, you look lit on Instagram. You must be paying for this. That's your mom. Yeah. And guess what? I was. So I was able to do that. But when I think long term, and I think of the Louis Vuittons and the Jeff Bezos and the people that go on, the Walt Disneys of the world, we don't see that in our culture. We don't see people selling businesses and building their own legacies. Walt Disney is Walt Disney regardless, right? Like, he built his own legacy, but he left a business that left his entire family good. And I want to make sure that we are starting, I don't care where you are. I started with $300 and a t-shirt line. And now that I've built several successful businesses, what are my grandkids going to be able to say? Or are they going to say, my grandma, she had a small little marketing shop and she was helping these influencers that we don't even know who they are because they don't even exist anymore. Like, what the things that we speak about now came with legacy. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, the things that we call great now came with someone that started in a basement, started in a garage, started with 3 employees, and now they have billion-dollar businesses. But a lot of times when we're in it, we're not thinking about, how does my current efforts, I leave my office some days at 9:00. And I told my team this the other day. I'm like, y'all are at home chilling. I'm at the office. I leave at 9:00. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm still back in this office at 9 a.m. Woke up, took my daughter to school, made sure my husband was great, still sending lunches to wherever he is to make sure he's good. And I'm still running 6 multi-million-dollar businesses. And I necessarily don't have to, but I want to, because when I think about my legacy, I want them to say, my grandmother built the female version of WeWork and sold it for $1 billion, and we're all chilling. She paid for our college 20 years ago. We never get to meet her, but she paid for all of our colleges. She made sure we were all straight. We didn't have to go work in her business to make sure it ran.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Give her a round of applause, please. Skittlez, thank you so much. One, thank you for like just always being a friend. We've been cool for a long time.
I've seen you grown. So y'all know let me tell y'all a funny story. Funny story is, me and Dave one time was just talking about like, yeah, I'm single, I'm about to start dating, this and that. And me and Dave talked all the time at one point. Then I called him. I was like, hey, Dave, what's going on? Oh, well, I'm married. I'm like,
popped up.
What? He's
Out
like,
the game.
I'm married. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I don't know you the way that I thought.
It was we met 6 months later, we were married.
That was a great, I was trying to do that with Zoe. He was not on it.
You feel me? But Zoe don't move like that. Zoe is more relaxed, chill. Yeah, no, it was up.
He don't move like that, but you know, we got it done. It was in all due timing.
Yeah, everything works out the way it's supposed to work out. But but thank you, because you maybe you gave me my ambition back today.
Yay!
Because listen, you be leaving office at 9. It start getting around 3:30. I'm like, yo, I'm to the house, okay? But I think there are some amazing things that we need to do. Yeah. I'm going to talk to you about my personal brand.
Yes.
Okay?
Please.
Yes, because calm down. She's like, yeah, you need to. Like, golly, calm down.
Does everybody in the room agree that David could be doing more with his personal brand? Honestly. Speak loudly.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
I agree. So you're gonna help me with that?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll work on this number that we've been passing back and forth. Okay.
And if you guys if you use social proof on the icingagency.com, whether you become a a la carte premium or elite client, that will help with David's invoice for his personal branding.
Okay.
Y'all can use social proof. I'm gonna give y'all a special discount on any branding services. And honestly, like one thing for me is that I sell services that help people. I don't sell services. Like you will never see me aligning myself with a brand that is not helping someone change the trajectory of their life. So you can go on Fiverr and you can go on Canva. You can go with any graphic designer, right? But if you feel like your brand is not where you want it to be and you're watching this podcast and you're like, man, if I only had an expert that can give me honest advice and tell me real life feedback on what I should be doing, and then definitely the Icing Agency is where you should be.
Cool. There it is. Listen, man, thank you so much. Again, I really appreciate it. I think there's a lot of people that are in that space confused about their brand, where they need to go. So this was very, very helpful. Well, you already kind of gave your website, but tell everybody how they can connect with you, and then close us out with a word of wisdom.
Yes. So where you can find me is on Instagram, Miss Skittlez, MZSKITTLEZ. Miss Skittlez, and you can find me at the Bakery Co-work. That is my co-working space for aspiring women. It's female focused. We have an event space, photography studio. Can't wait to have you guys. Girl Mob is my digital community. We also have a museum, Girl Mob Museum, and then also the Icing Agency for all of your marketing and branding needs. My word of wisdom is some people are praying for it while other people are paying for it. Some people are praying that they get the results, praying that their business launch, praying that God just send them a sign. He sent you 5 signs last week. And other people are paying to get it done, paying to get in the right rooms, paying to get mentored by the right people, paying to get it further along. So you can be the person that's praying, but if you're not the person that's paying, you're going to be in the same place next year.
That's a fact. Clap that up, guys. That was dope. Well, look, man, do yourself a favor, man. Make sure you're following Miss Skittlez. Let's get your brand together. Also get you some social proof, meaning go build something significant, but come back to your community and teach them how you did it. It's the only way our community grows. All right, like, subscribe. We out of here.
Yay!
If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.